So right now we're up at Mille Lake. We've got the MLS tournament, smallmouth tournament. I'm a walleye guy. We're going to be going out in the morning. It's actually a 2-day event. They ran one before. It's a 1-day event. Now we're up on Mille. We're going to give it a try and see if a walleye guy can go out there and catch a couple of them small draws maybe.
So a lot of people might be asking, what are you doing here, Jimmy?
That's a good question. Obviously, I mean, I travel across the country fishing the walleye stuff. But if I've got my choice, I like to chase smallmouth around. I'll do it in the rivers, the lakes. I'm Schwamigan Bay out in Ashland. I'll be going there next weekend. But it's all for the big small draws. The biggest one we've got so far over in Schwamigan is just over 8 pounds. So
Sure.
we're catching some toads, but I could use a couple more out here.
So what are your thoughts about the lake right now?
You know, they showed it off really good with the elite guys again the other weekend, but the bite right now is pretty tough. And what's happened, and I fish this for walleyes all my life, so I know the lake fairly well, is right before Wednesday we had a big storm, and it piled all the water up on the east side. When I came out Wednesday, I went over by Vineland, and you actually had to have your trolling motor on about 7 just to hold steady, because the current was rushing back in. When that happens, it muddies everything up. The water gets all mixed up. Visibility is about 2.5 feet right now, and it's tough. I mean, I'll be honest, it's 5 to 10 fish a day is what I've been doing. I've caught some really good ones, but you know, if we go beat up on them, hopefully we can find a school that want to cooperate.
Sure. Did you participate in the same event that was a couple weeks ago?
I did not, and the reason is I got walleye tournaments across the country. The one they had, I was up at the Ames State Championship on Lake Vermilion with my daughters. So.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Why Major League Series? What draws you to this?
You know, I've known Jay for pretty much the last 15, 20 years. When I've been promoting all those years, I've known him when he was back at Crystal Piers. And he's been a good friend. I love fishing the smallmouth. I've got a good friend, Joe Semler Jr., and we're going to fish together. He's a bass fanatic, so we got a walleye guy and a bass guy in a boat. He tells me I can't run creek chubs this time, so I'll have to throw all those out. We'll get out there and find some fish.
So I got a question for you, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not huge into the whole tournament side of it or the fishing side of it for that. Is there anything that you can take from being a walleye guy and apply it to bass fishing? That some little techniques here and there that work?
It's a great question, and what I tell people is it's typically the opposite. The reason I like to bass fish is it's really taught me to be a lot broader as a walleye fisherman. Now, I'm an electronics guy, right? Walleye guys are typically the guys that have the electronics and be able to do that. So smallmouth fishing is a real easy thing to transition in for us because we're looking in deeper water, we're looking for fish, we're using side imaging. I've got the Garmin's on mine, so I'm using Panoptics and scanning around so I can actually see the fish, much the same as I do for the deep water walleyes. So I can take a lot of that same knowledge, bring it over here, but realistically, the bass fishing helps me more on the walleye side than the walleye side helps me on the bass side.
Okay, sure. Anything that you think is going to be key for the weekend for?
So obviously weather, right? We got up this morning, we were going to hit the lake and try and be on the water at 7. We sat till 9 o'clock before the thunderstorms rolled out. That lightning, when we get lightning on this lake, the worst thing is rock piles, right? So when you got air to ground lightning coming down, the rock piles are affected more than anything. When you're a walleye guy out here, you always go to the mud if you got lightning like that. Well, the smallmouth are sitting in them transition areas, so if you can find some of those deeper fish and we get another lightning storm, I think that's going to be key. Them shallow fish that are up on top, when you get that lightning, it just shuts them down. They really go neutral on you. So I think finding a good deep pattern is probably going to be the key for a lot of guys.
Anything else that you'd like to add that you feel is important?
You know, the biggest thing is just folks get out here and try the events. I heard rumor that they might run a couple extra, and my daughter heard about it, so she's asking, can we fish the bass tournaments together instead of the walleye tournaments? So get out here and give it a try, especially Mille Lake. It's an amazing fishery right now, and it's world class. Everybody knows it, but get up here and enjoy it.